Sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we're doing stuff. This issue is on like relentless pursuit. So we've got a bunch of students that we're highlighting and some alumni. And I just, when I thought of you, I'm thinking, okay, she's got all these kids who've gone through the last two. That's why I want to make sure we keep it on that.
Yeah.
But then, with stuff with Shay and then stuff with Lisa, it's like, and yet you still, I see you as this person of hope,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know about, from your perspective, when you hear relentless pursuit, does that?
Yeah, it sums it right up.
Okay, all right, good,
Yeah.
good. So talk to me about you and all right, so I mean, you graduated 85, right? Yeah. Lisa Green, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So how have you kind of been that person of hope, that relentless pursuit of that, with all the ups and downs and everything?
Well, I don't know. I've always had a really strong faith, Doug, like since I was young.
Okay.
I was raised by a single mom. My grandparents were really influential with me going to Mass. They used to take me to Mass. And then when I got a little bit older, my mom went to Mass too, kind of back and forth.
Sure.
But I mean, I remember being a kid and just, like, I wouldn't miss Mass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I was older, not always with my grandparents, like, I would get dropped off at Mass.
Okay.
So I've always had this really strong connection to God, and I mean, I think He knew that everything I was going to go through.
Yeah. With you every step of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have made it without the grace of God through all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, I know they said something in Mass the other day about, do you feel personal? How many people feel a personal, and it was at a homily, personal connection to God? Raise your hand. And I was like, me? The kids all look at me like,
thank goodness. Yeah.
And so they always talk about, you need to talk to God every day. And I'm like, I already do that, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just have this, and I've always had it, and I just thank God for it. And I don't know how it happened, but, I've had my moments where I've kind of veered away.
Yeah.
But not really. So I think that's, I don't know how I could have made it through everything without the grace of God, honestly.
Right.
And then I just always wanted a family, so,
okay.
A lot of kids, because I was an only child.
Sure.
And then Shay converted to Catholicism, and then, became a better Catholic than I was, than I am. So we had all the kids, and I remember when we first found out he was sick, he was like, I was like, I can't believe, we have all these kids, and now they, because they gave him 6 months to live.
Yeah, right.
We have all these kids, and now God's going to take you away. Like, why would He do that?
Yeah.
Why would we have all these kids? Now, what am I going to do? And he was like, Lisa, that's why you have all these kids. And when he said that, I was like, that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, I'm always doing that with him. I'm like, okay, you were right. But really, I mean, it is. Like the twins, I mean, they have been, all the kids are a blessing, but, when the kids are a little bit older, they're kind of doing their own thing.
Sure.
When Shay died, they were all amazing kids, but the twins were still really little.
Right.
So they just, helped get me through too, and kept me busy as a mom.
Well, and I'm sure laughing
God had a
like
plan.
crazy, amidst the tears. Just kid stuff.
Yeah,
too, so.
I was talking to Audrey about, she was in tears yesterday leaving the school, and she's the one that was like, oh, I can't wait to get out of there. And Charlie was like, oh, I'm so sad I'm leaving. And I said, Audrey, it was, there's a very famous saying, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, and that's really what it was. And then the community too, when I look back on Shay dying, I just, unbelievable. St. Thomas, Langston Catholic, I remember you on your knees, St. Lisa, whatever you need. It was just amazing. I couldn't have done it without everybody.
Yeah. We're not meant to go it alone.
No.
Even as a single mom, now, you can't do it by yourself. You just can't. So,
no. And I just have, I never had a sister, but I had friends that just, God came through again.
Yeah.
These friends that are just, would walk through fire for me.
Yeah.
And not one or two, many.
Good.
Just been so blessed.
Yeah.
so that's why when I look back on it, it was really tough and it was really hard. But then again, we had really good times too. The kids are so close now. They're, you know, so close with me, and God always brings good things out of bad.
Mm-hmm. It's just hard seeing that in the moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
But I've always been blessed with this, just, you know, being a positive person. I've always been positive.
Okay.
You know, Shay was kind of the opposite. Like, you know, he'd always be like, oh, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and it's too much this and that. And not when he got sick, that changed.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, you got to keep going, and I have so much to be thankful for. These kids are just amazing, and I'm healthy. You know, if you're healthy, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
I learned that.
Yeah.
And then I started working. I have this wonderful job that I love. You know, allows me to be with the kids, allows me to support the kids. Even though it's really hard work.
Yeah.
And then started working with Lisa, and just not only loving your job, just working with somebody that was just amazing.
Yeah.
She loved you too, by the way.
Wow. She was easy to love too.
Yeah.
I mean, she just was. I mean, and everybody says that about her. It's just lovely. You know,
just amazing.
But I think the two of you together, I think, just
yeah.
talk about spirit and joy and just yeah. So.
I mean, it always be like, what time are you gonna be at the office? I'll be there at 10. Well, I'll be there at 10. Okay, let me change this around so I can be there at the same time.
Yeah.
And we've been friends for a long time, and Shay and her were friends before I even knew her. So I just this plan that God has.
Yeah.
But then, and then I was so happy, you know, look at my jobs, the kids are doing good, I got this great job, you know, Lisa and I have got this friendship that's just amazing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, who would have thought?
Right.
Who would have thought? I still feel like I maybe haven't accepted that yet.
Right, pinches.
Like this, that was my desk, but they were both facing that way, so I stayed in that desk, and I'm like, that's not right, I can't just sit here and look at where Lisa was. And then I sit here, and I'm like, well, this doesn't feel right either, well, at least it's my desk. And but I mean, we gotta go on.
Yeah.
And Lisa was always so, I mean, she was one that just appreciated every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every day. I'd be like, Lisa, you know, I'm looking so wrinkled, what do we do? She goes, don't worry about your wrinkles. She'd be like, I'm glad she would say to me, Doug, she'd go, I'm happy I'm alive right now.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Before she ever knew.
Wrinkles are battle scars, right? Of a life well lived, really.
Yeah.
You know.
But she just appreciated, she was like, that's not an issue. I'm glad I'm alive right now, today. Not knowing what the future, you know, not knowing 2 years later she wasn't going to be here.
Right. Well, I think too, you know, having the issue with her lungs that she did.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it was a gift. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a gift for her. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
But, I mean, what we do? We got to keep going.
Yeah.
And I always, you know, I was talking to Jenny Rule too about life and just that common belief that we're not living for this life, you know, we're living for the next life. Jenny and I were talking about that because not a lot of people understand that.
Yeah.
Jenny understands it because she's been through pain and loss too.
Yeah.
And she said, I just appreciate that you know that because I know it too.
Yeah, because it is so easy to get focused in the here and now and just like, we got to take care of this and no, we got to do something more.
So I just believe God, you know, brings good things to you. He's not gonna let you down.
Yeah.
And Elena and Lisa's daughter Elena, and we were close before her and Calla became really good friends, but we've gotten even closer, and you know, we just love being with her. She's like Lisa.
She
amazing.
is so much like her
mom.
Yeah. And I just remember the funeral, you know, or it actually was the visitation. The night before, you know, and obviously, you know, Elena's taking care of Jerry and everything.
Yes, she is.
You know, it's just, but she's like, no, we're going to do that. And it was just
she
like,
is.
Mom.
She's
like,
the one that's taking care of everybody now.
Yeah, so just fitting that right in, so.
Bless her, it's tough. I mean, it's tough to lose a dad, but it's tougher to lose mom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still, you know, it's a lot of times the kids, you know, it's a lifelong battle, and they go through stuff, and
well, and you don't even know when certain moments are going to trigger certain things either.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't expected. All of a sudden, whoa, here we are.
Cal got a new house, and she was at the house measuring for countertops, and she came home just bawling. I'm like, what happened? Like, they can't do the countertops. Like, what's wrong? She's like, oh no, he said, you know, he told us we had to remove the old countertops, and I didn't know. And he said, well, can't your dad help you? And she just lost it. So a little, I mean, you know,
It's
he's
those
still a
little
lot of
things.
pain, but
Yeah.
you go on. Jabbing too, I mean, he's still struggles, I mean, more than any of them.
Yeah. Well, I think, that,
With the loss of every, you know.
Yeah. It's good. It is going to
It's
be
an
hard.
uphill battle.
He was older, so he has all these
Yeah.
memories. And it's like,
Mhm.
so it's tough.
So I mean, it's an
He's
uphill
doing
battle.
well.
He's doing good, yeah.
Okay.
He's
Where's he at
getting
these
things
days?
figured out. He's in school. He just finished up at LCC, and he's
Okay.
trying to figure out if he wants to be a policeman, but he's not sure.
Okay.
He's gonna finish up maybe at Michigan State, but maybe just go directly into police work, which I kind of wanted him to get his degree, but no, I don't really care.
Well, you know, and it took me 11 years to get my master's.
Yeah.
I got kicked out at one point, all sorts of different things. But, you know, I tell my kids, like, look, you have this plan, but the world's not going anywhere. So just keep going forward, whether it's this much or this much.
That's right.
And if the world's going to fall apart, then what's the hurry to get to just, you got beat too, so.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, overall, they're all doing really good, and that's the most important thing. The kids are doing good, that I'm doing good, you know how that goes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And Jacob's doing what these days?
He's just finishing up at Aquinas, and
Okay.
he's going to get into commercial real estate. He's already working. He's working
Okay.
for Van Martin, and he's
Okay.
really excited about that.
Nice.
Sophie's graduating. She's doing really good too. She's
Okay.
looking into jobs. She's got a degree in English lit. She wants to be like an editor. And
Really? I didn't know that.
yeah, she's
Oh.
doing great. Did great in college. Oh my
Good for
gosh.
her.
We were just laughing because talking about getting into schools, and
Uh-huh.
you know, her grade point went way down.
Yeah.
And I was always yelling, "You're not gonna get into college."
Yeah.
Well, she got accepted into Western, got accepted into Central with 2.5 grade point average,
Sure.
because I think it was her essay that she wrote. She's
Yeah.
an amazing writer.
Okay.
And then just, 3.4 point student all through college.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just had to find her own place too. So.
Well, I asked her in the car yesterday, as a matter of fact, because after graduation, I'm like, well, what were you thinking? She's like, I don't know. She goes, I was really messed up. But they went through a tough thing.
Yeah.
And they don't, and a lot of them, like Charlie, didn't want to write about his dad on the essay for college. I'm like, you need to write about it because you've gone through something and got over it that is huge.
And that's
that
what they
shows
want
your
to see.
perseverance.
Exactly. It's tough to write about, tough to talk about.
Yeah. Important.
Yeah. Oh.
So.
Well, I missed all of them as they graduated, but I'll miss the twins.
Yeah.
I will.
Yes. They were just so, talk about a blessing. Just so easy. Both like Charlie, summa cum laude, Audrey, Magna, they're just such good kids.
And yet, what I love too is they came in, one of the last days. She's like, Charlie lost both our chargers. How did you lose the charger? I love it. It's just brothers.
They're so close.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do without each. They're going to miss each other so much.
They'll keep in touch.
Yeah.
They'll be on their phones all the time.
Yeah.
So that's.
They have their little arguments. They bicker back and forth, but they adore each other. They could never stay mad at each other. They would get in a fight, but they would have to make up within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Somebody would have to apologize.
Yeah.
So cute.
Okay, so now knowing that they're graduating, I know yesterday probably was bittersweet. Great in one sense, but it's like, wow, this chapter is done.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking for the future for you?
Well, I'm just gonna keep working, and everybody's pretty close by.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
it's amazing how much the older ones need you too. We're just all so close, and Jacob's gonna live at home for a while, and Sophie's got to come home for a little while.
Yeah.
So
Good. So you're not alone,
no,
family-wise in that sense.
No.
So that's good.
So I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be nice. I can, if I want to go on a trip not on spring break week,
Right.
it's okay.
I have to go around their schedule. I can do my schedule. Oh,
Yeah.
that's yeah. Well, and I think you do. You end up living a life. We love our kids. We had to move Colin home on Friday, and we're like going, dang it. It's like we love him, but it's like
I know what you mean.
it's just like but
Jacob too. I had a long talk with him. Like, you have to clean. You have to do certain things if you want to stay here.
Yeah, that's what we did last night. It's like, okay, you gonna pay this, you're gonna cook dinner for us
Yeah.
once a week, you're gonna
Yeah,
make your bed
I
every day,
like
just
that.
all those things.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cook dinner for us. Jacob cooks, so that's good.
Well, that is good.
Yeah.
That is good. So, just trying to think anything else, because I'll take all this and put it together, and then I'll show it to you, before, in case there's something like, I don't quite like this or whatnot.
Sure.
Anything else that you can think of, looking back or going forward? Anything from like when you were at, Lansing Catholic Central that helped you kind of hang on to that?
I think it was just, I was always, because I see so many people now, and I was always, I came from Waverly. My best friend was at Waverly.
Okay.
He's still my best friend to this day.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
when I came over there, I kind of was super shy. And Amy
Sure.
Preco and Amy O'Leary and I were talking about how, we kind of reconnected our friendship. And she's like, well, I was really quiet, and you were really quiet, so it's hard to really do anything. But everybody was just so kind to me, and I just kind of was kept to myself. But when I look back at it now, I kind of wish I would have branched out more. But I mean, I don't have to put that. But it was just goes along with that journey of faith. Like, I think I was meant to be there.
Okay. So did you come in? What grade did you come in?
Ninth grade.
Ninth grade.
High
Okay.
school.
So okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the
would have
foundation's
just
there.
missed you because I graduated in '80. So you came in the fall of '80, then, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
No, probably '81.
Oh,
You came
that
in
would be,
fall,
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
But I mean, you don't realize it then, but it's just really making a really big impression. And the kids don't realize it now, but it really is making a big impression on their lives. I remember when Shay found out he was sick, the kids were at St. Thomas, so he had, it was Mary Jo Lowndes. Remember Mary Jo?
Yeah.
St. Thomas. I didn't know this till later, but he had her to figure out, poor lady, exactly what it was going to cost for each child to go through St. Thomas and Lansing Catholic, because that was just something that he wanted.
He wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So, you don't really realize it when you're there, but the kids don't. But I mean, it's really making a big impression on them.
Yeah.
To be able to go to mass and.
Yeah, it's some of those
be able to
things
talk about
you
your
rail
religion.
against for a little bit, but then when you don't have it, you're like, wait, I missed this.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So I just think, I know it made a huge impact on me, and I know it is on the kids too. Even Javin's that school was really important. He really misses it. The kids that at first were toying around with going to East Lansing, they wanted to go to East Lansing. And I remember talking to Javin about it, and I'm like, I don't think I want to send them to East Lansing. He's like, no, they need to go to Lansing Catholic.
Yeah.
So for him, he struggled a lot. For him to say that is...
That's huge.
Yeah. And then yesterday, people too, Matt, my new son-in-law, was like, you miss it? He's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah. It will be different. It will be. So, and the schools change a little bit too. So, but I think it's just, it's like Steve Lamaki said yesterday. It's community. And you're there, you're connected, and
yes.
And it's not just the relationships are important, but it's like, no, we have something in common.
Yes.
That holds us together. So. Okay. So what do you see yourself doing 10 years from now?
Well, I'll still be working.
Yeah. I imagine.
The grandchildren, being with the grandchildren. I mean, that's just my hope. I've always wanted to be a mom, and that's what makes me happy.
Yeah. Family will do that.
Yeah.
So it can be frustrating, but no. I mean, I can see that that's what you live for is family. So.
Yeah.
Well,
So it's fun now, to be with them. We have such a good time together when we're just, everybody gets together and hanging out, and
good.
It's fun to be with them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, and I think the loss of Shay too. It's like, no, family is so critical. So we don't know what time we have, so you hang on to it in a good way and just cherish it. So even when you fight, it's like, that's the moment. That's not. We're bigger than that.
Yeah.
So,
it's brought everybody a lot closer together, and it changed everybody for good ways, in good ways too.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, thank you.
Sure.
This does not have to be long. I don't intend to beat a dead horse here, you know.
No,
with
no,
trying to get
I'm
through
not
stuff.
fast. It's like, that's all you need.
Yeah, that's enough that I can go through it. And then on your website, I think you have a picture of you.
Well, I have a different.
Do you have a different one?
Yeah, I can send you a picture.
Can you? That would
Yeah,
be
I
great.
just
Yeah,
had some
because
new ones done.
whatever you want us to put
Yeah.
on, then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
And then I mean, in my business too. I mean, God's like blessed me. So I mean, that's
Yeah.
another thing. I think I just thank you for my job.
yeah.
You know,
Well,
been
I
able
just-
to be successful, enjoy it, and I mean, it's hard work, but it's just
Yeah.
it's been a gift from God too.
Yeah.
It really
Now,
has.
how much were you doing real estate before you and Lisa really connected?
Well, I was in it for like 4 years.
Okay.
She was about 5 years ahead of me.
Okay.
So even before I started, we were always like, okay, we're gonna get, let's start doing bit when you,
Doing some things.
yeah, let's do something together. And so she had a head start, and she's so successful too. So then we said, I'll wait a few years till I build up my business,
Sure.
Although we, kind of work closely together. She always mentored me, but I, developed my own business.
Yeah.
And then we were like, well, maybe we'll do it in 4 or 5 years. And then, my business took off. She was doing amazing, so we said, let's just do it now.
Yeah.
And I just,
Put the name together.
yeah,
Oh.
and it was just amazing. I mean, we just,
Yeah.
still, I had my business, she had her business, and
Sure.
then we were bringing a lot of new business in together.
Mhm.
But we just, all that time, we worked together for only 3 years.
Is
That's
that what it
another-
was?
Yeah, when we were together. And I
Yeah.
tell you what, dog, I just look back on it and like, it was just another thing too. I didn't realize that I was only gonna have that much time with her.
Right.
And it was just, we worked so hard, yet we just, had the best time.
Oh, I
Every
bet.
morning calling her and, what else was I gonna say? We just never had we never had a disagreement the whole time. And our broker too, when we first sat down with him, Bill McLeod, and he said either you're gonna do fabulous or it's not gonna work. And he said it's super common that it doesn't work. And we never had a disagreement once
Okay.
through that whole time. And then towards the end, Lisa would be like, we're like the same. Like she'd say, well, what should we do in this situation? And I'd say something. She'd be like, yeah, and vice versa.
Okay.
And she'd be like, we're literally the same person.
Yeah.
Our clients, it's all about taking care of the client first, and communication and what's best for them, and bend over backwards for the client. We both worked exactly the same way.
Yeah.
So people ask me now all the time, are you gonna have another partner? And I'm like, it's like another husband. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think so, because
Yeah.
no one could ever be like
Right.
Lisa, and no one could ever be like Shay.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows in the future?
Right. You
but,
don't. Right.
but
Yeah.
man, both of them, it's just
Yeah.
those are hard shoes to fill.
Yeah. Mm.
So, and I feel, okay, I'm, okay doing it on my own, and
Well, you
can't go
got.
backwards, that's for sure.
Yeah. But you do have that hope. I mean, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go forward.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
God's gonna be there every step of the way, and
yeah,
don't know what tomorrow brings, but you'll fix it.
yeah,
Yeah.
one day at a time. And that's the way I live too now. I'm just like little things don't matter to me anymore.
Yeah.
They used to. It used to
Yeah.
drive me crazy, but I'm
Okay.
trying to teach the kids that too.
Yeah.
So it's, it's the big picture, and it's each day, and
Yeah.
when you go through loss like that, you just you
Yeah. The little stuff doesn't matter.
yeah, you learn to live a different way.
Yeah. Well, you still hung on to the hope. You still look at the your sign there. I think you still have passion. Which
Oh
is
yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So
Yeah. And I owe it all to God.
Yeah.
Man, this is strong relationship for so long.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, and to see that Shay had that, Lisa had that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just
Yeah.
that's good. Well, thank you. I do
Thank you
appreciate it.
for
Oh no,
And thinking about this for me, I'm happy.
Yeah, no, this is good. Yeah, well, I want to make sure we mix it up and do different people and different backgrounds, and because people are doing amazing things, and we need to celebrate that.
Yeah.
It's too easy to get negative.
Yeah, I love reading it too.
Well, the last two, I think we've done really well
Yeah.
as a school. So good section on alumni, good section on students.
Mm-hmm.
So people can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, cool.
Awesome.
Well, again, like I said, I will miss the kids, but it's good that they're getting their wings,
Yeah.
you know.